Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Stars and Scrums. It's been a long time without the show after the Rugby Europe Championship, but the Super Cup have started already, the second edition 2022. That's going to from September to December. We have already played two of the rounds. And we had the very first tie of the year with the game between the Tel Aviv Heat and the Black Lion, with Sebastiaan Jobb, who is here with us today, scored one of the tries, and also John Bell from the Iberians, Castilla y Leon Iberians, and the Super Cup CEO, Florent Marty, who is here to talk us about the now and the future of the competition. So all of three of you, I say welcome and thank you for accepting our invitation. Florent, you are at home because you are one of the faces of the Super Cup. The first question I want to do to you, because a lot of people ask me that this one outside of it is if you are happy with it, with what you achieved, you and all the teams and the players until this point of the Super Cup.
Hi, Francisco. Thanks a lot for having me. Short answer is yes, we are extremely happy. It's still obviously a very young competition. Only it's in its second year, we must, I guess, self-reflect a little bit where we were just 18 months ago or 2 years ago. We were in the middle of COVID, and we were discussing about launching a new competition. So many people told us, you are crazy, wanting to launch a new competition in the middle of COVID. But this is coming from an even longer time. I mean, this kind of competition has been discussed for quite a long period of time. It's been discussed for quite several years, and we are extremely happy to be able to launch it last year and now in the second year, because we think it's an essential piece for the growth of rugby in the participating countries and beyond. And there's really two things we're happy about. From day one, it has worked really well from a sporting perspective, with a number of matches that were very balanced, very close, decided in the last 5 minutes. And in the first year, we had a lot of those games, including the semifinals, including the final. And after 2 rounds in the second year, we already have a lot of contested games. And as you said, the cracker game between the Heat and the Black Lion on Sunday was really a great game. But there's been already a lot of good games in year 2. So from the very first start of that competition, the rugby side of things has been brilliant. And what is even more positive is the feedback we are receiving from the teams, from the unions involved in those teams. It is also working very well in their rugby player development and pathway. So the sporting side of things is already there from day one. And there is obviously a second reason why we've been launching that initiative, and it's to create a product, to create a new competition, a new product that is here to help those unions and teams to grow, to generate more revenues, to get to a point where it is not only financially sustainable, but it brings additional revenues to those unions and teams. And obviously, the players are a huge part of it. So yeah, we are very happy after the first edition, and now we have started the second edition.
Florent, before I go to John and Sebastiaan, one thing the Super Cup created was a new type of level between the local or club rugby that each union or each country has and the test match one. And for a lot, we saw the last Rugby Europe Championship was very competitive. Everyone in Europe and in the world were very interested on it because the matches were really good. We had Georgia, Portugal with a great ties. Spain, unfortunately, happened what happened, but it was amazing how they conquered Romania and Portugal and so on. So this Super Cup, it's the perfect trampoline so we can go from local rugby to test match level, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the more you are exposed to international rugby, the better you are as a player. So having more opportunities throughout the year to play international rugby at club level, we think is very positive for the development of those national teams. I mean, we have here Sebastiaan from the Heat, For Israel, it's probably a slightly different project because obviously as a national team, Israel is not yet at the level of the Rugby Europe Championship. But talking to the team management, it has already extremely positive results for the development of rugby in Israel. And this is what we want. Whatever the level of your national team, what we want is the Super Cup help to grow the sport in the country, both at performance level, but also at grassroots level. I hope in a couple of years, some kids will be playing rugby because they've seen Sebastiaan making a cracking try last Sunday in Georgia, and we hope that in Spain, the same and different kids will have seen John playing for the Iberians and wanting to play rugby. That's what we want. So we're very happy, both at performance level, but also as rugby development tool in those countries and unions. And keep in mind that we want to grow. We want to welcome other teams. So it's just a starter. That's the 8-team format, and we want to involve more teams and more countries in the future.
Well, we'll go back to you about it. John, I'll start with you. John Bell, I have here a try, one of the 2 tries scored in the Super Cup since its beginning. So I'll put it on for people
here in the second half, getting on the Devils early. Another strong run here for the Iberians.
And as you see,
shifted forward into the
John, I would like to have a contest in the future between John and Sebastiaan to see who is the quickest one, and who has more magic in their feet. John, you played for a long time, and you still play for VRAC, and which is already a very good level for local rugby in the Iberian Peninsula. You played the Iberian Cup against a lot of Portuguese teams and won all games against them. So this Super Cup, what it means for you, what it's different from the local club rugby, how is it different?
It's quite different from the local club rugby because, we together 3 teams, few players from Burgos, few players from VRAC, and then another few players from Chami. I actually changed the side from VRAC to Chami this year. So, I just changed the 2 sides. Yeah. So for us, it's quite difficult. Or not difficult, it's actually good because we get 3 type of, teams together and we play one brand of rugby, and, the coaches can pick from 3 different teams who they want for the weekend, who's going to play the better, strategy, what we want. And, from the club's perspective, that's different is just the way we play, the coach of the Iberians is one of the coaches of the Spanish international team as well. So the way we play is quite similar to the Spanish national side, So some of our players have been playing for the Spanish side, knows the structure, the way we play. So it's quite easy for us to fill in and then just play with the team.
Florent was just confirmed with us it is very important to have this level of competition. Do you feel that Spain as a nation, as a team, grew bigger because of the Super Cup as well?
Yeah, because the Super Cup just started last year, and it was, for the first year, it was quite successful, I would say. Our players that played in all of those games, we enjoyed it quite a lot. It actually, was actually perfect for us. There was quite a few games that was tough. The Portuguese side is quite good. The Jordan side is, of course, top class level because they've got a lot of international players playing for the team as well. So for our players that's not playing for the Spanish side, for the international side, that's quite a good level, to play against those people, to play against those players. That's been normal on the international stage, So it's very good for the players they're not playing for the international side to meet up against, the international guys. So that's very good for us.
You played in that cracking semi-final. Remember us about it. You had a full stadium watching the game. This is the environment that we want for the Super Cup. You think this environment is something that just happened in one game, or the feel is it will happen in a lot of games for this competition?
I would definitely say that it will definitely grow, because last year was the first year of the Super Cup. And of course, Georgia is a rugby nation as well. A lot of great supporters, a lot of heart in them. So it's like a national side for them. So for them to play rugby in Georgia, if they want to see a match, even if it's Super Cup or the international side or club rugby, they would want to watch rugby, you know. So I would definitely say it's going to grow in the years coming, and people that's going to know Super Cup growing year in, you know, next year is going to be bigger, the year after is going to be bigger, and then it's going to be on everyone's lips, you know. So because this was new for us as well last year, you know, we didn't know how it's going to work, the format, you know, every 5 weeks you play one game, or you play 2 games in 2 months, and then you're going to wait a few months to play the next game. And this year is quite different because this year we started off with the 3 games, you know, and then after that we're going to play the semi-final, and everything's going to be finished before December. You know, last year I think it was in the span of like 6 or 7 months. You know, so this year's quite different, and maybe next year would be different again. You know, because you're just growing, and you would say what's better for us, and then
Okay. So we'll go back to you to ask some other questions. Now it's Sebastiaan Jobb's time moment. I have here also a clip from
that was looking ominous for the Heat.
Sebastiaan is already smiling. I can
Lovely
see you can't, but I can see it.
To John Emanu and Sebastiaan Jobb. They're starting to light up here. Sebastiaan Jobb, he is electric, the fullback. Jobb.
Well, I'm going to just pick up Justin Marshall's words. It's just electric, Sebastiaan Jobb. It's amazing what you do when you have just a little bit of space. In that video, if people can go back to see the replay, you just found a nudge and just went for it. When it happens in those moments, what crosses your mind?
I think I approach everything as if I need to go and score or create a try. So I would just go and put my foot down and just do my best I can in that moment. I don't really think about anything else except that moment. I don't think what I'm going to eat for lunch tomorrow or anything like that. I'm just focused on having the ball and trying to create or score a try for my team.
Sebastiaan, you came to Tel Aviv Heat, which was a big surprise for everyone because it's not common to see Israeli rugby coming to this level. But you're apart from the project since the beginning with Jordan Chait, Gabriel Ibitoe, who have already left, but grew because of the Super Cup. He got noticed again by everyone and you. So why the Super Cup? Do you think you played in South Africa, you came from the academies in the Bulls and so on, and now here in Europe? Do you think it's a very good competition and you think it's the perfect pathway to bigger things?
No, I definitely think the development that I can get here in the Super Cup can be huge. It can be massive. I think it's a brilliant opportunity for me and also other guys that's here. We are really appreciating the opportunity that you guys brought forward. I think it's a brilliant pathway for the lower tier nations, if I want to say, to get valuable game experience. Obviously, there's guys like Georgia, Portugal, Romania in there. That's really good rugby nations and that are going to the World Cup. So we play against players of very high quality. So yeah, I'm quite excited for what's to come from this competition. I've already seen a lot of headway in terms of players becoming better, and also players getting recognized. Like you said, Gabriel Ibitoe got a contract, I think, at Bristol now. So it's quite interesting to see what this competition will amount to once it gets rolling.
Sebastiaan, a question about the impact in Israel. How's the fans? Do you think it's already giving more passion for rugby just because of the Super Cup?
I definitely think so. People are very excited back in Israel. I constantly get messages from friends and people that's there that watch our games and also the other games every weekend when we play. I think people are excited every time someone mentions the name Tel Aviv Heat. Obviously, Israel in general is not a very, very big rugby country, but that's why the development is there. And also, I've seen a lot of people are really excited to be part or to witness such a good competition.
Oh, good. Florent, I come back to you about Israel. When the first time Super Cup came out and you had a brilliant video announcing what teams were part of it, and it showed Tel Aviv Heat. A lot of people say, "What an Israel side, or who are not even in the trophy level?" But in truth, it brought impact and quality to the competition. So is your focus and the rest of the board and with the unions to get like Poland, Germany, and other countries to come together and be a bigger competition in the future?
Yes, definitely, yes. As I was mentioning, we want the competition to grow, to involve more teams, to also have more games throughout the world, the season. We're gonna do this on a very scalable approach, that works for everyone, where every team can follow that path. I mean, to go back to the Heat story, I mean, it's just a great story, and I can elaborate if you want a bit on how that came.
Please.
But you may remember that initially the unions playing at rec level were given an opportunity to enter a team, not an obligation, an opportunity to enter a team. Then the union who has won the trophy division that year was also given that opportunity, and that was Netherlands. And then for the final spot, it was a bidding process sent to all unions. So we got about 12 or 13 teams bids, I would say. And clearly the Heat from day one was fascinating because it was well thought, well articulated. There was clearly a purpose, which was to make Israel a better known rugby country, because no offense to anyone to say that, rugby in Israel is not a top sport. There are a number of top sports in Israel, football, basketball, just to name a few, but rugby was not there. And the day after we launched the documentation, I got a call from actually the former president of the union telling me we're gonna enter the bidding process, and we're gonna try to make it. And then we got the full bid from the Tel Aviv Heat, and it was very well articulated, very well thought from day one. And we were very happy to make the decision to give that eighth and final spot to the Tel Aviv Heat. So that's how it started. And almost 2 years later, I believe we were right in trusting that project, because from day one, they played at a very high level. They are extremely competitive. They played the semi-final last year with a cracker game in Lisbon, and they are doing very well, obviously, already in year two. We're very happy to have them on board, and we hope they're gonna continue to grow. And for the second part of your question, we said almost from day one that it is the ambition of that competition to grow, to welcome more teams. You mentioned a couple of countries, absolutely. At some point, we would like teams from Germany, from Poland. There's other unions and countries that could be legitimate candidates as well. We actually going to instruct that in the next couple of months, because we are going to instruct an expansion as soon as next season, and to try to welcome more teams. Of course, it needs to be project well articulated, that are well thought, that are obviously financially sustainable, and well articulated, and that works also for the union, because we are Rugby Europe. We are driven by our members, and we want every project to be well supported by the union presenting that project. We definitely are on an expansion drive.
An expansion drive. Sebastiaan, you that came from South Africa, now playing in Europe, in Israel, this is the type of project that any player that wants to get to the professional side of things, it's what you want to hear, right?
Yes, definitely. I think the more teams, the more games, the more exposure you get, and we actually want to make this competition as competitive as possible. Playing in it is something special, and to hear our CEO saying that it will expand, I'm really excited, and I'm sure that a lot of the other guys, I'm sure John will be excited as well about this amazing news.
John, about you and the Iberians, as you explained, it's not a team from composed like the Lusitanos from all the best players from the many clubs that are in the Division de Honor. It's just about 3 clubs, but the feeling for the fans is they like the Iberians. They feel it like their team, right?
Yes, exactly. Like even rugby in Spain is growing as well. I think is a good level of players and the way we play. People watching, spectators and stuff like that. I wouldn't say so much. It's growing as well. But for me, as as honest I can be, in the city where I live, we've got the 2 best teams, in the last 20 years. So I think we generate a lot of spectators and a lot of fans that love rugby and a lot of kids that start from a young age because we've got the 2 best clubs in Spain, one of the 2 best clubs in Spain in the city. So that's a big part of Iberians as well. So yeah.
So Sebastiaan, you also going to have a big game this weekend. It's against one of the new entries of the season of this Super Cup 2022. It's Batumi in Georgia. What are you expecting from this game? You tied with the Black Lion, but now have a new game. Batumi still didn't win this season, so they will be looking to get points from this against the Heat. So what are you expecting from them?
No, I think it will be a very difficult game, especially because I haven't won anything yet. I think it won't be easy, and it will prove a test for us. Also, because we got a win, and we also got a good result against Black Lion, so we won both our 2 away games. Hopefully, the guys won't be complacent and just expect us to win. We should actually just this weekend go for it and work as hard as we possibly can so that we can secure our away games and hopefully get the win this weekend. I'm sure they'll bring a lot of physicality. A lot of bodies will be sore on Sunday after the game, but I'm sure Batumi will be a really tough competitor because they're a good team and yeah, they're a new team. So I think this third game might be where they show their class once more.
Okay, so and the Heat have a trump card. Where you have shown the trump card from the last 2 games. It's the offloading game because the way you do offloads, you and Kunatani and other players show that it's expected and unexpected, and it's been this from day one and the last year and now in this season. So how do you connect so well between your teammates? How there's this simple harmony that everything goes to place, the offload just pops and there's someone there to get that ball and drive them through.
I think it all starts off the field. I think if you guys were here, you would really enjoy this environment. People are be connecting off the field, and I think that delivers the quality and the offloads and everything that goes with it. Because we work so well off the field, and when we get on it, everyone's connected. Everyone is happy. Everyone's having fun and yeah, we have great coaches to just bring it all together. And I think I I really don't know why I connect so well with the guys, but um, we just try our best to connect off the field because we want to get to know each other on a more deeper level, and I think that's bearing the fruit for us as well.
Sebastiaan, 1 second. Tell me something. Do you have an individual goal for this season, or it's like you said? I don't think what I'm going to eat for lunch tomorrow.
No, I have obviously goals, but it doesn't involve any individual stuff. I actually just want my team to do well, and I actually just want Tel Aviv Heat to prosper in this competition, and I'll help them any way I can, and I'm sure my teammates will help. So my goal is actually to get us to a final and hopefully win it this year. I think we were unfortunate last year to have missed out, but I think this year we have a good shot because we recruited the right guys. There's also some Israeli players in the team, and they really had a really good development since last year that I first saw them. So it's going to be quite interesting. We have good depth, and also we have great coaches that really wants us to enjoy being here and playing for them. So that's actually my goal for this season.
Oh, it's just a very good goal. Now to finish the last 5-10 minutes, I'm going to ask Florent, favorite moments for you from the Super Cup since it began. Do you have some moments that you remember when you talk about the competition?
Oh, there are many. It would be a very hard choice to just make one. Well, I guess one of the highlight moments, not even a particular game, was actually the weekend of the semifinals of the first edition, because we had two cracker games. It was, champagne rugby all over the place. First, we had that game in Lisbon, where one try was responding to the other between the Heat and the Lusitanos, and that was very entertaining to see. And then we got the 43-40 to Black Lion versus the Iberians, which was another fantastic game. So, if I remember correctly, we scored more than 150 points across two games during those semifinals. So that was really, really good, a good moment to have. It was a lot more tense during the final. You could see that there was a lot at stake, and the team, they didn't want to make any mistakes. So there was clearly a bit less champagne rugby and a lot more, let's not mess this up. So it was a bit of a different atmosphere in the final. But hey, that's often what you get in the final. It's very tense, and no team want to lose. So that was a very good moment. And then already in the second year, we had a lot of great games already. Delta losing to Lusitanos, but only 7 points, I think, was a big surprise to a lot of people, and that show how Delta also has improved and is a competitive team. We could see a comeback win from the Wolf versus Batumi last weekend. They were down 15-3 at halftime, and then they completely turned the game and won in Bucharest. Again, the cracker game on Sunday between the Heat and Black Lion. So we had already many good moments in year two. And as a competition organizer, that's what you want. You want close games, you want close results, you want every team to be competitive, to have a chance. You want decision to be made in the last 5 minutes, qualification for semi-finals to be decided in kind of the last round. And we've got a lot of that, so we can be happy with that. And I had a topic probably less relevant for Sebastiaan or John, or actually still relevant. There's also very good support from the broadcasting and sponsorship side, meaning from day one, we got broadcasters interested into that competition in many different markets. In Europe, obviously, but also outside Europe. All the Super Cup games are live on Flow Sports in the US, for instance. So the US audience can watch all the Super Cup games live, and we're getting more and more interest also from broadcasters, and that's how you grow competition. That's how you make it commercially viable, and that's what we are in for. And the first results have been quite good, and we see a bright future for that competition. We want it to grow. We want the attendances in the stadium to improve year on year, get better standards, get a better stadium as well. So we are. It's all about improvement. Having a starting point, and then you build from that starting point from strength to strength.
Oh, that's cool. Before I go to John and Sebastiaan, in this year's Super Cup, we had already a surprise in a new edition. It was a predictor, so it's something new, something that people were not expecting, and something that it shakes things up for the fans. So what do you want with the fans, and what would you love that the unions could do with them in the future, Florent?
Well, it's all about engaging fans and attracting new fans. It's as simple as this. So when you have people already following your competition, the games, it's really nice to have this kind of predictor game and fantasy games where you can play and you can try to guess the upcoming scores, and of course there's a reward upcoming if you are successful. So we want to do this more and more. It's clearly part of our digital strategy, and we want just to have more people following the competition, more fans. Predictor is one asset for that, but also at team level there is obviously some work to be done, to be continued. So more fans are watching the games and attending the games.
So that's a way. Predictor is always a good thing. Maybe in the future we'll have a fantasy, because everyone loves a little fantasy, and John and Sebastiaan are perfect players to score points when they play, because, well, a lot of line breaks and tries. John, you are with Chami at the moment, working things up for the Supercopa final, but after that you coming back for the Super Cup, and are you coming with the same vibe as last year, or are you coming better?
Yeah, definitely. Of course, we're coming better because, like you said, we definitely want to improve ourselves and maybe lift the cup as well. Because last year was a very nice game against the Black Lions. It was very tough. It was back and forth, and it was very physical. And that's why we want redemption. Because of course, Georgia is a great rugby nation. Spain's we're picking up, and as Iberians, we want to show them as well. We want to lift the cup. We want to be the best team in this competition. And of course, if you look at them, they're always physical, and we definitely want redemption against the Black Lions. So if we get them somewhere in the semi-final or final, I think that's going to be the best the game of the season for us.
So one quick question to wrap you up: do you think the Iberians going to the semi-final this year?
I believe we will, because we've got a goal we want to reach. Like last year we said we want to reach the semi-final, and this year we want to reach the final. So we just want to be better and better every year. And as our CEO said, the competition is going to grow year on year. There's going to be more teams coming in, and we're going to play more rugby. We're going to travel a bit more of Europe. That's exciting for our players as well. Some of our players hasn't been to, for instance, Italy or Germany or something like that. So the traveling aspect for us is very fun as well as a team. These teams coming together, playing rugby together, but spending those times with traveling together as well. It's very fun for us as well.
Okay, thank you, John. Now with Sebastiaan to ask him. We have a predictor now. Maybe when we have fantasy and it can be picked. Whoever picks Sebastiaan as a captain will have a lot of points. It's going to be the double digits. Sebastiaan, from the Tel Aviv Heat lost in the last semi-final in this season, your team is looking good to get on the semi-final again. But the Bucharest Wolves are here to bite and try, and they want to go to the deciding games. So what do you think? The Heat will go again to the semi-final, and this year, can you go to the final?
I think we have a good shot this year to go to the semi-final again. Hopefully, we just need to get through the group stages. Obviously, like you said, the Romanian Wolves and also Batumi, they're going to be in for a shot. Even Black Lion. I mean, this competition is going to be competitive. Our group, especially, to get out of it. But we'll try our best, and we have the experience and the bodies, the players that we need to really have a shot in the semi-final. So we can't predict that now, but it's obviously a goal that we really want to reach this year, and I think we can do it, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Florent, to finish things up, I know we are just starting Super Cup, and it's horrible to talk about December in the final because we don't want things to end, never. We just want them to go and go and go. But from here until that month, the last month of this year, what do you expect it will happen in this season? Do you have a personal bet that you have? Can you share it with us, or do you remain a secret and only reveal when we have a new champion?
Well, I just want the competition to do well, to go well, to have more and more fans in the stadium, to watch great rugby games. I obviously wasn't going to mention I want X versus X in the final. That doesn't make any sense. I want the best two teams to reach the final, and that the final is an entertaining moment. We have had it this year also a third place final. So the two teams breaking through the groups will have 2 games to play anyway, a semi-final and then either a game for gold or bronze medal. So there will be two more games for the two teams in the semi-finals. Yeah, we would just want the competition to grow, more fans, more attention from media, the teams and the players to be happy and really expecting the Super Cup games every weekend or when they play impatiently, because it's fun to play and fun to watch.
Oh, it's fun to play and fun to watch. I think it's the perfect words to finish and wrap this show, this first episode up. Just to tell you to the people at home, this weekend you'll have 3 games on Saturday. It's going to be Batumi against the Tel Aviv Heat. You can watch it starting 11 a.m. UTC time. So check your time and see how it schedules on your day. Then you will have at 1:30 o'clock the Delta versus Brussels Devils. It's going to be a very interesting game. It's derby from the lowlands. And then we have the Castilla y Leon Iberians versus the Lusitanos. So it's another derby. It's a Iberian derby at 4 p.m. UTC time. Then on Sunday, the Black Lion will welcome the Romanian Wolves to Georgia, and we'll see who gets the best. It's at noon p.m. so UTC time also. So check everything. Go to the predictor. Even if you didn't start, you can still go there, because weekly you can win prizes. Just click on the website, go and give it a shot. Maybe you're going to win some prizes this weekend, maybe not. Let's see. The Super Cup competition goes from September, then October, and then finally we'll have everything to be decided on December on the semifinals and the final. And the bronze final, as Florent Marty, the CEO from the competition, explained. So see you all next time. Say awkward way for everyone at home, and we'll see you next.
Thanks a lot, Francisco, for having us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoy it. Good luck, boys.
Ciao.